Hello all, this is JC3 from Is This Real? Do you want to start your own podcast? Then look no further than Buzzsprout.com. We here at Green Hour Media use Buzzsprout, and we love the team at Buzzsprout. They are all about helping you succeed. Buzzsprout gets your show listed in every major podcast platform. Follow the link in our show notes to let Buzzsprout know that we sent you. It gets you a $20 paid Amazon gift card if you sign up with a paid plan and helps support our show. Join us and over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout.com to get your message out to the world. Welcome, everybody, to another fantastic episode of Is This Real Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Joe. I got Joe with me. Well, that's my dad. Dad, how you doing today?
I'm okay. Another day, another jet loss, but I'm doing just fine, thank you.
Let's try not to talk about it, please. Today we got the bun himself. We got Isaiah here.
The bun is in the building, boy.
What do you call me?
The bun.
Oh, the bun. Oh, I thought you said something else.
What, my hun?
Yeah, something like that. Something gay. I was going to agree with it, but...
These two are scary.
All right, so now we're in, what, is this week 2 or week 3 of October? I think it's week 2, right?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yes. Okay, so...
We're actually doing the episode on the day it's going to get released. It's almost like live.
Yes, almost like live.
Almost.
We got Teresa in the booth here. You can't really hear her.
Where's her mic? She got no mic?
Joey refuses to give her a mic.
I didn't refuse to give her a mic. She doesn't want to hold the mic. That's on your boo.
Teresa's holding your talent down.
I'm not going to hold it like that. It's stupid.
We don't have a fourth arm, so...
I don't know what to tell you. Buy one, broke bitch. This is
Okay.
Damn, yo, she just came at you
We
crazy.
have an operating budget of minus $20. Give us a break.
Okay,
I blame Joey for tapping into the bank account.
Whatever. So today, what today's topic is going to be is we are talking about The Shining and how, odd that movie was.
It's the Stanley Kubrick one, right?
Yeah, the Stanley Kubrick Shining.
Okay. All right. Before we go any further, I just want to say this week we lost a giant of a person in the entertainment industry.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we lost Eddie Van Halen.
I saw that on Instagram. Who was he? I'm sorry. I'm not.
Edward Van
He was a
Halen.
magician, right?
Yes. Actually, he was a magician. What he did with
There you go.
Wow.
What he did with the guitar was just absolutely amazing. Never done by
A
anybody.
magician.
He was an amazing performer.
He was a
He
magician.
made songs, or he was like a part of like a band?
No, he was the.
A little bit of both there, buddy.
Yeah,
A
he
little bit
was
of
the.
both. Talented.
Very talented man.
R.I.P.
Okay. Anyway, big tribute to Eddie Van Halen. Back to The Shining.
Yeah, so The Shining this week in our Halloween episodes continue to go through. Last week we talked about The Exorcist. This week we're talking about The Shining.
Oh, is that what it is? Because I noticed like a pattern of just like...
Yes, scary movies.
So
just
for the
like
whole
on,
month.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
just like on Green Arrow. Green Arrow this week coming up. We were talking about slasher movies. So go check it out. Yeah, so The Shining, Dad. What was your overall... Because you were alive, obviously. You're the only one in this booth that was alive when The Shining came out. What was your overall opinion of The Shining when you first saw it?
When I first saw the movie, it was different. It was strange. You left the movie thinking, what the fuck was that about? I mean, it was a great horror movie, don't get me wrong. It had all the elements. It had jump scares. It had, what's behind here. What's
Jack
doing
Nicholson.
It had Jack Nicholson at his absolute best, in my opinion. But, over the years, questions have arisen. What was that movie about? Theories have arisen. Was it about... I mean, there's a lot of theories out there. And, one of them was that Stanley Kubrick filmed the lunar landing as the government faked it. They tapped him to make the movie, and he wanted to tell people, and he wanted to apologize to the people for making that movie and have everybody think that we landed on the moon. And a lot of stuff in that movie, a lot of the clues that these I guess theorists point to, actually, it makes sense. You know, one of them was, and just on this one theory alone, one of them basically was, and Stuart Ullman, the guy who ran the place, in his office, the window was shaped like an 11, and in the middle of the window they had a giant eagle. Well, the lunar landing module was named the Eagle. And the kid,
it was Apollo 11, wasn't
Apollo 11. And in one or two scenes, little Danny Torrance, when he was playing on the rug in the hotel, had an Apollo 11 shirt on. You know,
and he was playing with a spaceship, wasn't he?
I think they were little trucks or whatever. I'm not sure.
Okay.
No.
But I know also in that scene with the window in the office that there's no window in that main building.
Yeah, see, that's what makes it strange, because if you look at the layout of the Overlook, and I was telling this to Isaiah before, if you look at this, the way they've got it set up, you know, people are walking to and fro in back of where that window is supposed to be. So, and then when Jack goes into the actual office, there should be no window there. Now, if you see the movie, folks, you'll know what I mean. You probably do anyway. It's very, very. It's just a lot of things that what do they call that? The consistency in the movie.
Yeah, the consistency.
All right, it didn't make any sense. You know,
so it's the continuity.
Continuity. That's the word I'm looking for.
Continuity. That's a technical term.
You're welcome.
That's a technical term.
It is. I use it all the time.
Yes.
What was this? I never saw this movie. So was it about something about the moon landing, or
no?
The movie basically is about. You want to take that one, Joe? What is it?
You could take it.
The movie is basically about a guy. There's the Overlook Hotel in Colorado. And what it is they're closing down for the winter because they get a lot of snow up there. So they need somebody to be in that
hotel for the winter
to keep the heat on, to keep everything up.
Okay.
So they hire him. He comes up there with his wife and his son. Backstory about his son is...
So he was paid to live there?
Yeah, he was paid to live there for 6 months.
For an entire winter.
And,
wow.
But it's typical of what's his name?
Stephen King.
Stephen King. Most of his stuff is...
Yeah, it's based on a book by Stephen King called The Shining. Yeah.
So, all right, Stephen King is a good author, right?
Yeah, fantastic.
He's
fantastic. He was well known for his horror stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We did something in high school about Stephen King.
Horror, psychological thrillers, shit like that.
Yeah, no, I know about Stephen King.
Yeah, but so basically what The Shining is I mean, if you don't watch the movie, The Shining, I'll just tell you, is this this inner type, like, feeling. It's just this energy that you can sense ghosts around you. You can sense like this power around you, and that's what Danny Torrance has, which is the kid, and so does Old Man Crothers, and basically,
so they have like this supernatural sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, in the movie, this hotel is haunted, and Danny can sense it.
Okay.
But it's driving Jack Nicholson's character mad.
So he's going crazy.
Basically, yeah. Huh? And of course, the mother is trapped between, the father and there's no help.
Yeah, and also don't forget too, he's Jack is seeing. He sees Lloyd the bartender. He talks.
Yeah,
to him.
He's seeing ghosts.
He sees a crowd of people in the gold room, whatever it is.
So this is the main character. Like while he's living there, he's seeing things. Like he's talking to ghosts. That looks like people.
So is Danny, which is the kid.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hey, Ryan. Hi, this is Sarah Palin.
Ryan, Donald Trump Jr.
Hogs to win, see you. Hey, everybody, I want y'all to check out a fellow Marines podcast.
My name is Ted Nugent, and I got a call from my buddy Ryan F. Samuels, and he wants me to tell you that he's a working hard, playing all-American son of a who is celebrating God, family, country.
Welcome to the Ryan Samuels Show, one of the top political podcasts in the United States, where we have a healthy distrust for government and mainstream media. The Ryan Samuels Show is a raw, unfiltered look at American politics.
And they look like humans, like.
Well, I mean, Danny senses from the room, what, 237, I think it is?
237, right.
So there's room 237, which apparently something bad happened in it. Danny senses ghosts around. Have you ever seen that thing? It's mostly in any type of Halloween commercial ever. Right. Come play with us. Come play with us. You see two little girls.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's from The Shining.
Okay. So there's conspiracies about this movie.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot.
There's a lot. I mean, it goes like just this one alone. The lunar landing. They think it's an apology from Stanley Kubrick that he, I'm sorry, I fooled everybody. Now, I can't say we faked the lunar landing. I don't know, but I can tell you I lived through it and it looked real to me. Now whether it's something that that he did and he was really good at it, I don't know, but that's a whole other genre. You talk to different people about that.
I mean, we could talk about that. And
the lunar landing is like, well, it didn't happen. They pointed a flag that was moving. It's another show, but that's one of the conspiracies that they think. And also the room 237 in the book, it was 227. But the conspiracy people say it was changed to 237 because that's the distance between Earth and the moon.
But it's really 238 minutes.
It's 238,000. But it fluctuates. It's at certain times of the year we're closer, sometimes we're not. So again, that's another conspiracy theory. And in previous, if you don't have any proof, it's just a theory. It's all it really is. Other theories now. I mean, if you want to move on to other ones, a lot of it was about the Native American Indians.
Oh yeah.
Now, in the movie itself, they have what they call the Colorado Lounge. Right. It's this giant hallway. And it's got these big steps in it, and all around it, they have a couple tables, and they got like chairs up on the walls. They have all Native American artwork, like stuff that would come out of an Indian tribe or shit like that. And it's very strange because. Say like that right there. That's like the tapestry on the wall and stuff like that.
Okay,
that's the Colorado Lounge. Okay. Now, in there a lot of stuff. They say that it's basically buried on built on an Indian burial ground. That's part of the movie that they added. It wasn't in the book. Okay, so what they're trying to now, was it that? Did it? Is all the decor around the place? Is the blood that comes out of the elevators in one or two scenes? There's the elevators are standing there and there's rivers of blood fall out of them. Is that the blood that was spilled by the Americans, by the Indians?
So you think the director put their own twist on this?
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, if I believe, I think I'm right here, but the author, Stephen King does not like this movie.
Yeah, he doesn't. And you see,
he saw this movie.
Yeah,
I thought Stephen King was like, oh no, he's still alive.
Right? Yeah, Stephen King's still alive, but he does not like Stanley Kubrick's interpretation of the book.
He took liberties with it.
But doesn't he have like some type of rights to at least like the topic or
what happens when
he doesn't have any rights to this movie?
No, what happens when,
because the plot is his basically.
Yeah, but what happens when a studio buys a movie and buys the rights to a book?
Oh, so they bought it from him.
Bought rights to the book, and they could.
You can't be mad.
And it's still his. Like, they bought their right to use it. They didn't buy the actual rights.
So an agreement to okay.
Because anything, like, we can buy the rights to anything we want and interpret anything we want, but if you have the money to buy the rights, that's how it is. But Stephen King turned around and he does not like the interpretation that
shouldn't took the money.
Kubrick turned around.
And don't forget too, this was basically when he wrote the book, he had stayed at the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, and the Stanley is really purported to be haunted. You know what I'm saying?
Move your mic over.
Move my mic over like that?
Yeah.
All right. The Stanley is purported to be haunted.
Yeah.
So he stayed there, and then he wrote the book about the Stanley. Mm-hmm. Oh. And, in the book itself, he had to change things. Obviously, he wasn't going to call it the Stanley. Mm-hmm. The actual hotel, the Overlook Hotel, is a combination of two places. I'm trying to remember the name of the one hotel. I believe it's in Wyoming, That's the hotel you see in the movie. That's what they filmed the exteriors, and also in England at the studio they actually built a complete smaller replica of this thing when they built the maze out in front. The other the interior, the Colorado Lounge, that's from the Apoca something hotel in Yosemite. They took the interior of that. Now if you look at that, if you ever go online and you look at that, you're going to see it looks exactly, with the exception of one or two things, the position of the stairs or whatever, it looks just like it. It's like walking onto that set. And that set was completely done on a soundstage in England. They filmed the entire movie there, with the exception of the road that they were going when they were first going out to the Overlook. That's called Going to the Sun Road, and it's a real road. So so they use that. Then they use the outside, the
helicopter seat and everything.
Right. They use the outside of the other hotel, and that was what they used. But getting back to the original thing we were talking here, another clue that they say that Kubrick put into that, besides the wearing of the shirt and what I mentioned, he actually said if you look inside there's one scene, and it's inside the freezer or the food pantry, and for people point to this is something to do with the lunar landing, because on those spaceships, on the space flights, we were drinking Tang. Well, on the shelf there was 2 big boxes of Tang. Now going further to the Indian part, there was boxes of Calumet baking powder. Calumet is an Indian word, and it means peace pipe. And they think, well, that's there, so that's go along with the imagery of the Colorado Lounge. Okay, so that's another one.
So it's to play off his whole twist of the what he was making there,
right?
About the Indians, the blood coming out of the elevator, making it present.
There's a lot of imagery that was used in this movie.
I want you to see that movie. Tonight, maybe we can watch it tonight because we have it. I know we have a copy of it. We don't get it online.
Is it really scary? I mean, I don't like horror movies, but
it's not really scary. You know what it is? It's more of a I'm in about 5 minutes or whatever, I'm gonna go through the top 10 scariest parts or the strangest parts of this movie. It's not scary. There's
it makes you question your sanity, I'll tell you that much.
It's one of those things that you sit there and go, oh, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
Is this I recognize this girl. They keep making a meme of this, of the Here's Johnny meme.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's the movie.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, and one of the most famous memes also is a picture of Jack Nicholson frozen, and it says, "I just came." Yeah, that
one. No, I recognize that meme with the axe when he's chopping down the door.
Yeah.
And he peeks his head and he's like, "Here's Johnny."
But yeah, there's a lot of imagery in this movie, and I think that's the reason for it. There's a lot of people questioning.
And that was because this guy was losing his mind.
He was losing his mind. I mean, if you watch the movie, there's a sense of he's been there forever, or this and that. Jack, the character, has been the caretaker of the Overlook for centuries, or for
since it first happened.
Yeah,
and I don't want to give the movie away because the ending.
No, you're good. Most likely, I mean, unless we watch it now, I probably ain't gonna watch it by myself.
Yeah, he's not one for horror movies.
The movie itself basically is you're watching this guy descent himself into something crazy, and we're not understanding what's doing it. Now, it could be the isolation, which Stephen King does perfectly.
Right.
Every movie this guy's in, it's always 2 or 3 people, and they're against everybody, and there's nobody else around. And he's actually... Did you just up my mic?
Yes, I did.
Okay. He's actually... his son his son knows something's going on in this hotel, but his son's only 5 years old, so he can't really. There's not much he can do.
Please keep your mouth to the mic.
I'm sorry. Okay. Jesus
I feel like you could hear me pretty clear even when I'm back here. Is that true?
Yeah.
Or can you? That's too much.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So the whole thing is about this guy descending, and
into madness.
What was going on?
But you told me at the beginning. You said that he was hired to be here for 6 months.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But you said that he's been there forever.
Okay. That's how they... There's one scene in the movie. All right, the movie itself, they had a caretaker here in the beginning when he's hired. The guy Stuart Ullman tells him, we don't know what happened. It could be the isolation. Grady, the caretaker, killed his wife and 2 daughters.
I think it was 2 daughters.
All right, killed his wife and his family in this hotel, and they think that it could have been what was going on. Did he go crazy? Was it lunatic?
Yeah.
Later on in the movie, Jack Nicholson is going into the gold room to a bar. Now, Jack Nicholson's an alcoholic.
Okay.
So he sees a bar, and there's supposed to be nobody in there, but he goes in the ballroom, and there's people dancing, having a great time, hundreds of people. He goes up to the bartender, a guy named Lloyd.
It's supposed to be empty.
Right. He goes up to the bar. Now, there's supposed to be nobody in there, and there's a bartender his name is Lloyd. This guy's creepy as hell. He just passed away last week, by the way. Okay. The guy who played the bartender, he plays a great role, and he's talking to Jack Torrance, and Jack's like, I'm a little light, I don't have any money on me, so can you give me a little credit? He goes, your money's no good here, your credit is just fine.
Your money's no good here, Mr. Torrance.
Right. So now, was he the devil? But the interesting part about that was when he was backing away, some waiter come by and spilled something on him. So this bald-headed waiter takes him into the bathroom, and he's wiping him down. And they get around to talking, and Jack Torrance says, "What's your name?" He goes, "Grady, Talbert Grady." And so Jack Nicholson, being Jack Nicholson, in that crazy look he gives him, he goes, "You were the caretaker here, weren't you?" And he goes, "No, I don't believe so, sir." And he says, "You were the king. You killed your family here." And he says, "I don't know what you're talking about." Long story short, he turns around and he says to him, he goes, this guy is telling Jack, when my wife questioned me about my children, I corrected her. In other words, he killed her. So Jack, what he's doing is he's meeting up with this guy that went crazy and became a ghost in the hotel.
Right.
That's where now we're flashing forward to possibly see Jack Torrance wind up becoming this guy and taking over for Grady. That's one of the theories, but that's how we meet Grady. Right. And another part of the film too is where you have two twin girls, and the only person who sees them is the little kid, Danny. He's 5 years old, and he's riding his little big wheel around the building. Now, again, I'll paint the picture. It's an empty hotel. Mother's over here, father's somewhere else. He's a writer, so he's writing something. This kid has got the run of the place. So he's going through this hotel, and what he does in that scene is when he makes him ride in a big wheel, he's going from rug to bare floor, if you noticed. And that's psychologically creepy to begin with.
Okay.
So,
because you hear the sounding of the
and then he goes around a corner and nothing there. Then he goes around another corner, and in the distance there's these two twins, and they're holding hands. And they come play with us, Danny. And he's like closing his eyes. He doesn't want to see it.
Fuck no.
Yeah. And then he starts having visions of what happened. And the next vision of these girls are laying on the floor in a pool of blood. All chopped up with an axe there. It's
now the actor.
Tough for
I forgot the actor's name. The kid actor. What was his name? Was really Danny, right?
Danny Lloyd.
Yeah. So the actor at that point, the little kid, they didn't tell him he was filming a horror movie.
Right.
So all of his scenes, he just thinks he's filming a movie. Blah 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 blah. And they just told him, okay, Danny, act scared. So they didn't show him what he was actually filming.
He was, they had the.
That was his.
He didn't actually see the girls in the pool of blood.
No,
I was gonna say that's tough for a 5-year-old.
That was his one and only role. He never acted.
Yeah, he's a school teacher now somewhere.
Not bad.
Yeah. So
I guarantee the amount of money he made off of that.
Well, did you ever see the interview?
How much do you give a 5-year-old?
Well, that's what he said. They have a movie that Stanley Kubrick's daughter made, the making of The Shining or whatever. And one of them, they were interviewing Danny Lloyd, and I mean the cutest little kid. He's sitting there. He goes, they said this guy said to him, "How do you, what do you think about acting in a movie?" He goes, "Well, I don't even know what it's about." He says, he goes, "Oh, I bet you like to get paid." He goes, "Well, I thought I was going to get at like $2 or something because I didn't know. You know, the cutest little. You know, so anybody's out there and you want to look that up, it's on YouTube. It's really,
the producer
really
said bet $2.
It's really, really cute.
So I'll just go into it. Go into the top 10 scariest moments of The Shining.
Okay.
I'm getting this off of ScreenRant.com.
Shout out.
Yeah. Again, we're not being paid for any of that. But number 10 is Jack describes his nightmare to Wendy. I forgot what was the Azurite and explains he murdered Wendy and Danny and chopped them up into tiny pieces.
Yep.
In the job interview at the start of the film, it was already hinted that Jack would eventually do this, and at the end, he tries but fails. Right. So, number 9 is when Wendy sees a man in a bear suit giving the blowjob to that gentleman.
Mm-hmm. Huh?
This is one of those movies that give you like the what the fuck did I just see? Yeah. So Wendy's, I think she was like walking the stairs or something like that, and then she sees this again. It's an empty hotel room,
right?
And she sees a door open, and she sees a guy in a bear suit giving a blowjob to this guy in a regular suit, and they both just stare and look at her.
What the fuck?
And she just walks the fuck away.
Do they hear from them again, or was it just like this one scene? Hey, throw in a guy with a bear suit giving a blowjob to somebody else.
That's what the craziness of the whole movie's about. Mm-hmm. It's little shit like that. And
so they never came back. It was just that one scene.
Yeah. Just that one scene.
And there's another scene too where the guy with his head was split. Great, wonderful party. And he's holding up the drink. Mm-hmm. Where did that come from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Number 8 is when Jack chases Danny through the maze.
Incredible scene.
So that scene, how I love what they did with that scene. The maze in the real...
Danny's the little kid, right?
The little kid, yeah.
And Jack is supposed to be his father?
Jack Nicholson,
So why the fuck is he chasing him?
Because he went insane.
There you go.
Yeah, it's towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, this is towards the end of the movie. So
he just started murdering his family.
So basically what happened is, with this, like as far as the technical side, the maze is... they really built the maze, but it wasn't a part of the main hotel.
Right.
Like in real life, there's no maze attached to any of those hotels that they filmed
kept getting in production. They kept getting lost in that fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean it's a maze, of course. The snow is
if they
plastic
built it,
pieces.
Why are they getting lost?
Because they built an actual maze.
They built an actual maze, and in filming, sometimes when they were in there, they were losing their way where they were.
Yeah,
and it was crazy, man.
The maze, if you watch the scene, the maze is filled with it's during the winter, and it was during a major snowstorm, so the maze is filled with it's white and it's snowing and it's cold. Yeah,
that's the father.
That's him in the maze.
Yeah, so that
in the movie. Yeah.
So
yeah, he definitely went insane.
So all that shit you see around him it's plastic. It's not real snow, of course.
Styrofoam
and fog, which is amazing.
It's fake snow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So number 7 is the "Come Play With Us Forever and Ever and Ever." When Danny was the scene we were just talking about, him on the bicycle,
him on the bike, and the twins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 6 is the elevator doors letting out the tidal wave of blood. So basically, this is a flash that Danny got, and it's the elevators. They're opening, and it's just blood pouring out of the elevators.
And who saw that?
Danny, the little kid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit.
Yeah, it wasn't real, but it's just that's the imagery that you see.
And what's funny about that scene, if you look really close in that scene between the elevator doors, there's something there that's not there when the blood starts. And people for years have picked this apart, trying to figure out what is...
Well, I'm staring at a picture of it right now. I see the blood is still on the right side when the door's not fully open yet.
Right.
And it looks like it's a planter.
Okay.
Like you're talking about a beige thing in the middle between the two doors?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like a planter.
Okay, so you got something there. They're trying to pick that apart as to what that really was, and they're not really sure. Maybe it was just a planter and it was put there proper. Who knows?
See, this is number 5 is one scene that nobody ever talks about, and it sticks with me. It's when a sleep-deprived Jack hugs Danny. When Danny
when he sit on the bed?
Yeah. So basically, I set this up. Danny and Wendy, which is the mother, they were in the other room, like the big room, watching TV. And Danny asks Wendy. He was like, "Mommy, can I go get my toys? They're in our room." And Wendy was like, "No, your father's sleeping. You know, we can't disturb him when he's sleeping. Blah blah blah. He needs to sleep."
Okay.
So Danny was like, "I'll be quiet. I promise." He was like, "Okay, if you promise to be quiet, in and out." So he goes into the room, and what's brilliant about the scene is the mirror. He goes into the room to go to the toy, but as you pan back, you see that Jack, and you see this in the mirror. You see that Jack is just sitting on the bed, just wide open, staring, not sleeping, not saying anything. And Danny walks in and goes, "Oh shit!" And then Jack goes, "Come here, Danny," and he gives him a hug and stuff like that. But he's just like, there's blankness. Like, that's all you see. And like, that always scared the shit out of me, because you walk into a room and somebody's just staring forward with this Jack Nicholson look. And what I loved about that scene also is how they used a mirror to see it, because you're getting from the point of Jack, not really, it's like off to the side. Like, let's say this is the bed,
right?
Jack's right here, here's the camera facing the door opening, but you're seeing the mirror and you're seeing Jack in the mirror.
You're also seeing the mirror and the door.
Yeah, so you're seeing Jack in the mirror and you're seeing Danny come in through the door.
Okay.
Which is brilliant.
So the camera's not pointing towards
Jack,
nor the door is pointing towards like a mirror.
No, the camera. Okay, so the camera is pointed towards the open of the room. So you have the bed here. You have a mirror here on the left side, and then you have the door, which is in this little hallway, and you see Danny come through the door.
Right.
But you're seeing Jack in the mirror.
Got it.
It's such a brilliant setup scene.
Yeah, that sounds slick.
And the conversation they have too. That's creepy in its own right, especially when Jack Nicholson is, when Danny asks him, "Daddy, you would never hurt us, right?"
Yeah.
And the way they're talking is like in this monotonic, whatever, you would never hurt me, right? That, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Who told you that?" And Danny turns around and says, "Well, did your mommy tell you that?" So at that point, you start to see Jack turn and realize that his wife is now his enemy.
Yeah.
So he starts questioning.
Right.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
And you can see him. He's just fucking. He's out there.
Yeah. He's like, if you were the most sleep deprived person ever, that would be the scene.
Just a question, because what was stopping this guy from like saying, "Oh no, shit is too weird here," packing up everybody and leaving? Was there anything holding him back? Basically,
it was the emotional and ghostly connection to the hotel.
Plus, it was peaceful, and he was in the movie. He's a writer,
a teacher and a writer. But he needed a place to write his novel, and he enjoyed the solitude. In fact, early on, when he was in an interview with Stuart Ullman, he said to him, 6 months of peace and quiet is just what the doctor ordered. So that's what he wanted. And then then when Wendy started questioning when the little kid saw the woman in room 237, remember when Jack was at the bar and she comes screaming in and she had a knife in her hand? Yeah.
And she said, there's a crazy woman, and he's like, "This is just like you to fuck things up on me," So he was at that point. You can see him turning on his wife. So and was he turned on because he didn't love her, or he turned on? What was driving him mad to turn on his wife?
All right, so number 4, and number 4 is good for 2 different reasons, and one, it's for the conversation. Okay, so it's Jack's conversation with Grady in the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
I would have done that much better, by the way. But
that was creepy because of 2 reasons.
Who's
One,
Grady?
Grady is the former person the former caretaker who killed his daughter and his two wives. Yeah.
Oh, okay, he's a ghost.
So basically, this is a scene we were talking about before, where Dad was talking about Grady and
right.
So the reason this scene is creepy, and it's again coming from a technical aspect, is there's a rule in filming. You're not supposed to break the 180-degree rule. And basically, what the 180-degree rule is. So if we have 2 people talking in between us, and I'm the camera, I'm not supposed to switch up to the next scene and go to where your perspective is. Because basically, if you're on the other side, you're seeing where this camera was.
Right.
he broke that rule in this scene because you get Jack's perspective and then you flip to the other side and you see Grady's perspective. And again, you're not supposed to do that, but it worked because of the creepiness of the scene.
I would have done it different. See, when Grady was talking to him and Jack was standing there, he was like standing there like almost super,
about to hit him.
Right. And he's talking to him, well, you were the I would have had him standing there just like that, having the voice come in, but have nobody standing there. In other words, now Jack is talking to somebody, but you don't see him. But you've already let us know who Grady was in a previous scene.
You're right, that would work, but at the same time, that's a little too difficult to do because you have to make the audience extend a little bit more. And with a movie like this, you're extending at your max.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hello, nerds. Come listen to the History Nerds United podcast, and let's make history fun again. We interview today's best authors, whether they are established Pulitzer Prize winners or someone debuting their first book. Let us show you that history is not a boring class you took in high school, but a place where the best stories come from. And we don't just cover history, we also love to chat about true crime, biographies, memoirs, and so much more. So head on over to History Nerds United and let us introduce you to your new favorite book and learn the story behind the story.
History Nerds United.
You definitely, they're asking a lot of your brain.
Yeah, so basically what you would want is basically him to be talking to himself at the bar, which there is a scene that he does that. He is talking at the bar and there's no one there, but the next scene you see someone is there.
Right.
So there are a couple scenes like that. It's just for this one, you need Grady in the bathroom to establish that it's going to be Jack who's doing it next.
Okay.
So number 3 is, which I love this scene, and it's not scary to me, it's just funny, and I think you'll find this funny too, Isaiah. It's, I'm not going to hurt you, I'm just going to bash your brains in.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that one. So basically, Jack's already tipped at this point, and he's chasing Wendy up the stairs.
She's backing up slowly with a knife in her hand.
Yeah.
And she wants to, she came in there and she wants to, she's trying to defend herself, and then all of a sudden she meets up with her husband, or no, she's got a bat in her hand, I'm sorry, and she's waving a bat. And how he does it when she's backing
it's
up.
Pure Jack Nicholson.
It's just unbelievable.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm gonna bash your brains in.
So at this moment, he just went full on.
Yeah,
crazy.
he's
bad shit.
Yeah, because Danny got hurt, and Wendy suspected that Jack did it.
Right, because Jack had done it previously in their marriage.
Yeah, in their marriage, Jack did hurt in a drunken rage. Jack did dislocate Danny's arm or break Danny's arm.
I think it
was something like that. So, and then Wendy turned around. It's the brilliant line. It's, Wendy, darling, light of my life, I'm not gonna hurt you. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in. I'm gonna bash him right the fuck in.
And it's the way he does it. He puts his hands up like this, and he sticks his tongue out at her.
Yeah.
And it's comical from our perspective, but I don't think it was too comical for her perspective.
Oh, no.
But with that bat in her hand, she did do damage when she hit him.
She hit him. She did hit him with the bat after that. She knocked him the
swing.
fuck out. So, number 2 is Jack enters room 237.
Right.
And the bathroom scene with the old lady. So, again, room 237 nobody goes into because there's something happened in room 237. And you find out, I believe this woman just killed herself, right?
I don't remember.
I think that was the thing. Okay, so Jack goes into the room and he sees this naked young lady in the bathroom.
Ghost.
So obviously, but he starts making out with her, and he looks in the mirror. She's a decaying old woman.
And how he did it was, she was the same. The scenes are basically the same. When the little kid sees her in the bathroom, she's in the bathtub and having a bath. She pulls back the curtain, and she's this old hag. He bolts the fuck out of there. And
I would too.
Right. The next when Wendy comes into the golden room, I think it's called, and tells him there's a crazy woman, and he says, "What room?" And he goes into the room. She's taking a shower, and she pulls back the curtain, and there's a really good-looking woman naked. And the way they do it is she steps out of the shower, and as she's stepping out of the shower, you see the water on the floor. That's really creepy to me because it's like so realistic, you know. And she goes up to Jack, and he's standing there, and he's doing the same stance, same thing he was still like looking at her, like, "What are you doing?" That he was talking to Grady with. And then he turns around and he says to her, they just start kissing, and as Jack puts his arm around her, there's a mirror behind him, so all he sees is her back. And then he notices that she's got sores on her back, and then he pans back, and it's that old hag that the kid had seen earlier in the day. And he freaks the fuck out, and he gets out of there.
He starts swinging. Oh no, he just left.
He just gets the fuck out.
I would have to do a punch.
And then of course number one is Here's Johnny.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
that scene doesn't really scare me, but
because like Isaiah said, they made so many memes out of it. It's been it's been done so many times in a comical sense over the years. So yeah, that's probably not the. I mean, from her perspective, again, she's trapped in a fucking room in the bathroom.
Yeah, and he's
can't get out. Right, her kid now has gone out the window into the snow. She doesn't know where he is.
Does she die in that scene?
No.
But the of course she gets out, and then he chases them through the maze, and obviously they get out of the maze. He doesn't, which he dies in the maze.
Okay.
Right.
But yeah, so like there's a couple more scenes I think they could have added to this too. Like, I mean, I guess it's not scary, but the shocking end scene with you see the picture of Jack in the ballroom with everybody.
I'll tell you something about that. I'm glad you brought that up because one of the conspiracy theories is when they pan into him, and if you notice where he's positioned in the picture, if you look at that photo, it looks like a satanic Baphomet. You know what that is?
No.
It's a star. It's the star of the pentagram almost, and he's positioned at the very lowest bottom, like in the Baphomet. The picture of the devil is the goat is the devil is. So they say that he was trying to hint that this is hell, and Jack was the devil. It's a theory, but it's a damn good one if you think about it.
Really like paid attention to like that.
Well, a lot of people wouldn't, because basically you go through this whole movie, and then you're coming to a picture on a wall, and it's got Jack in the picture, and that's a shock value as itself. Who's got the time to sit there and analyze that? Over time, people that do this, you know what I mean? So that's
to finish off this episode, I do have a question though.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was
I just want to go to run down a few more things, but God.
I don't know if it was the sequel or if it was the ending of this movie, but doesn't the kid go into the bathroom and the woman's in the bathroom, or is that the sequel, like his own house? Does Danny go into the bathroom in his own house? And
You're talking about the
sequel, right?
Dr. Sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's done in the sequel. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm saying
house. Yeah.
Okay, because that movie was actually creepy in its own right.
That was a good movie. It really was done well. I like the way they did it. And again, they wrote that movie. They didn't have a book to go by.
Yeah.
You know. Oh wait a minute. Yes, they did.
They did have a book to go by.
So it was done really well.
Stephen King had his hands on this one, though.
Yeah, he wasn't going to let him do that.
Yeah.
Now, they made another movie called this. They made another version of The Shining with Ryan Reynolds in it. And I believe it was Ryan Reynolds.
No, it wasn't Ryan Reynolds. I don't know who it was, but I know Ryan Reynolds did the remake to The Amityville Horror.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I'm sorry. That's the movie we'll go into.
We already did that.
We did The Amityville Horror?
Yes, we did. Remember, it was already Anthony.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I don't... I did turn 60. It's a little rough these days.
Yes, you're old.
I just want to run down a couple more conspiracy theories. Again, it's about hell and Jack Torrance is the devil and the Baphomet, which we just discussed. A lot of people say that you should watch the movie backwards. It makes more sense when you watch it backwards. A lot of people say Frozen, the Disney movie Frozen, is the same movie. I didn't see Frozen, so I don't know.
Frozen's my shit.
They say that the little.
I didn't see Frozen.
I watched it on Broadway. How about that?
Somebody didn't like the father in there. Another theory is it's all a dream. It's a nightmare. Jack was just doing it. Another one, going back to government conspiracies, they say it's all about the CIA and the MK Ultra, which is mind control, and it was a big experiment. And Kubrick was trying to tell everybody this is what was going on.
So the CIA set up this whole thing and basically, I don't know, experimented on these people.
Mm-hmm. They say the CIA ran a classified controversial behavior program called the MK Ultra from the early 1950s to 73. It subjected its human test subjects to a number of illegal techniques.
But that will go against the plot of the book, though.
Well, the movie actually did go against the plot of the book. It really, the movie.
I thought it was just twisted and
no. The plot of the book is completely different than the movie itself.
Yeah,
Dad, I'm looking at that photo right now.
Which one?
At the end of the movie,
right?
It doesn't look like a thing to me. If that's what they're trying to say, it just looks like a bunch of people in the room. You know what I mean? Like, I guess if you try the one with Jack I mean, of course he's in the middle of the photo,
right?
But there's no you're not connecting dots. You know what I mean? There's no image that you can get out of this by connecting people or anything like that, at least to my eyes.
All right. Well, again, let me just, I'll read you the theory they got here. Let's see. Jack Nicholson played the devil in 1987's The Witches of Eastwick. But some conspiracy theorists would have you believe he played a slightly different version of the old Scratch 7 years prior in The Shining. The concept is simple. The Overlook Hotel is hell and the manifestation of Jack's deepest fears. But theorists are split on whether Jack merely made a pact with the devil in order to get a drink at the bar. Makes sense, right? Okay. Or if the demented writer is actually the devil himself. Evidence for the latter, the old black and white photo of Jack from the end of the film where he is seemingly trapped in 1921, shows him in the exact same pose as the Baphomet, aka devil, tarot card.
Oh, so if he's in the pose, okay, so that makes a different, like, if that's that, okay, so he's basically going like this.
Yeah, I think that's
in this photo. Right. So, like, he's like with his hands open, and someone's on his shoulder, smiling.
It's a good movie, Isaiah. Your homework is to watch this movie. If we have time,
I'm not watching it by myself.
He doesn't watch horror movies.
Somebody's gonna have to cuddle me. You see, it's not the thing.
Well, I love you to death. Don't get me wrong, but cuddling, no. Shake your hand, a high five, cuddling.
I got you, bro.
I sure hope you do. But the thing is that then I'm gonna go to sleep alone tonight, and I'm gonna start seeing things.
Okay, so the next time you're here, we'll watch the movie.
Teresa's gonna have to hold me.
So Teresa can cuddle you all night long.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be her homework assignment to cuddle.
Yeah, we'll watch it.
Yeah. So I think this week we'll let everybody know on Facebook. Again, follow our Facebook pages at Is This Real on Facebook, Green Hour Media on Facebook, Green Hour Media on YouTube. We do have a couple things coming out, like I keep telling everybody. And Dad, you saw what we have coming out on Halloween. What did you think about it without giving anything away?
It was pretty impressive. You guys did a really, really good job out there.
I didn't see it yet.
I'll
see it after.
It's very, very. It's well put together. Anthony being Anthony, like normal. I guess people are going to enjoy that, and then with all the little added things you're going to add to it, So I don't want to give it away, but yeah, it's a lot. It was a lot of fun watching it. It was a lot of fun watching it being done. I never saw that before.
Operation DJ.
Yeah, it was really, really. It's a really good thing, and I'm sure the people will enjoy it.
So we have a couple more episodes of Keeping Up with Bubba and Angry Uncle coming out soon. We have our live broadcast Halloween. Don't forget about that. Isaiah, you're going to be here for Halloween for our live broadcast?
I am going to be here for Halloween.
All right. So
topic?
Whatever Halloween thing we bring.
Are we
haven't
gonna have
come up with
candy?
a
I don't
topic
do
yet.
anything on Halloween unless I have candy.
Yes, we'll have candy.
Okay.
Eating candy?
Reese's.
Oh yes, I agree.
We are going to have a new podcast. It's a show that will be on. We'll either put it on Is This Real page or the Green Hour podcast page. It's called Are You Smarter Than a Caden? And
we're gonna go through with that.
We're gonna go through with that. It's me and Isaiah. We're gonna be talking to my nephew Caden, our nephew Caden,
straight A student,
giving him questions to see if he could. It's $1, $2 per question.
So according to the Board of Education, he should excel in this.
Yes,
in this show.
We're gonna give him Are You Smarter Than That? Because he is in 4th grade, 5th grade. So we're gonna give him Are You Smarter Than a 5th grader questions.
Straight A student, he should be able to do it. It's a good way to make some money.
When you
stay off the streets.
When you two boys come upstairs after it's over and you're fucking stone broke, I don't want to hear you.
Last time he got me good. We wasn't even recording. He emptied my wallet.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. And we do have a couple other things coming out. You know, for the holiday season's coming up. We might have some T-shirts. We might be having more live cameras, stuff like that. Yeah.
Are we going to be doing a live show once a week? That's what I want to know.
If we can, yes.
Yeah, I want to do a live, once a week live show, wrap up, even for, 45 minutes, whatever, the events of that week.
Did you find out why the audio sound like that on the last one?
No.
It had like a popping noise, like it went in and out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it was the first live thing. Like, I don't think the live broadcast we did last week sounded like that.
The one we did, what are you talking about?
The
wrestling one.
Me, Dad, and Uncles did
another live one, and it sounded good?
It sounded very good.
Okay, it could have been something else though.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that, guys. Again, keep listening to our podcast. Thank you, Isaiah, for coming on Is This Real?
No problem.
Dad, I'll see you next week.
Yeah, good night, boys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
File that in. Shut this down. You got more tonight, Joe, or no? Okay.